Hey friends, happy Monday! I am so excited to begin this journey with those of you. Thank you for your patience. Those of you that are hopping on live. I had a childcare situation change first thing this morning, so went to the gym instead, dropped off the kids in the childcare, and as you can see, I am in the truck where I do my best work in order to stay on track and come to you guys live and start this journey towards food freedom. I am going to be completely honest with you. I don't have all of this figured out, okay? I'm a dietitian by trade. If you are new here, I've been a dietitian 9-ish years, and what a journey that has been, from being conventionally raised, conventionally taught, into the world of more holistic medicine, holistic healing, the world of supplements, the world of supportive gut health things. And then walking through the mushy mess that is diet culture. How can I be in it but not of it when it is such a, we need targeted support, targeted nutrition, targeted interventions, but that has been so manipulated and used for harm and used for oppression and used for destruction as well. So I am still walking through these mucky waters of kind of coming out of diet culture, and how do I coach people? How do I encourage people? How do I help people find freedom? And I also have been convicted recently that I need to talk more about the role that Christ plays in renewing our mind, transforming our body, and truly all that we do being an act of service and worship and accountability and stewardship for our body versus for our own gain, for our own ambition, and for our own transformation. So I hope y'all are okay with going to church and talking about Jesus, because that is going to be a huge part of this as well, especially with the chaos of, my plans changing this morning, being like, Lord, I didn't have the time to prep that I planned on, and I just am praying that the words and the meditation of my heart and all the things are exactly what at least one person listening needs to hear this morning. So you are in the right place here this week. If food stuff feels heavy, if food stuff feels overwhelming, if you have tried lots of things, you see yourself, you identify as a failure in healthy culture and diet industry, if you struggle with your relationship with food, if you feel like you don't have control over food, or you lose control, you have binge eating episodes, if you want to think about food less because your brain is so full of just obsessive food thoughts and overwhelming food thoughts and calculating and macros and calories and nutrients and calories in and calories out, that's very heavy. That fills up a whole lot of brain space. So if you're wrestling with that and you wish you had the mental space to think about other things, you're in the right place. You are in the right place if you feel like you are called to a healthier version of you. If you feel like you're not doing the best you can to take care of your body, but you're confused about what that even looks like. You're in the right place if you're doing all the things, but still not seeing results. It might be a heart issue. You're in the right place if you're not even sure what results would look like, because you realize that if the heart doesn't change, if the brain doesn't change, you still got the same brain 20 pounds lighter, 80 pounds lighter, exact same brain, okay? So I hope over these next couple days together that we can wrestle with some of those thoughts, that we can change some of those thoughts, that we can start the process of renewing your mind. I hope that over the next couple days you will have hope, and you will have the type of motivation that you don't need to bring up all the time, because you'll do the things with or without the motivation, because you'll know that motivation comes from doing. I hope in the next couple days that you feel freedom. And that might be in one little area, that might be in a huge area. This might be the thing that transforms everything, or it might just help with one little thing, like what should I have for breakfast, okay? Any number of that would be successful, okay? And I'm going to be completely transparent from day one here that I will invite you by the end of this to invest in some products that I think help address root issues, okay? It's no secret that my ability to help support my family and buy clothes and buy groceries and all the things, my Plexus paycheck helps pay for that, and it has for the past 6 years. And for that, I am so grateful. But I refuse to market a product or sell a product or try to talk somebody into a product, even with complete belief in that product. I refuse to go down that path until we've had a chance to talk about the heart issue. Okay? Because the best products, the best plan, the best dietitian, the best supplement, the best water plan, the best app, the best recipe will never fix that heart issue. But I am a fan of transparency. I hate those workshops where people like give you all the good stuff or barely start giving you good stuff, and then at the end they're like, but you have to buy my product to get the rest of me. No, I'm going to give you everything good that I can give you in the next couple days. And if you feel like a good probiotic might be helpful or a good vitamin might be helpful, then absolutely, let me tell you the one that helps me and supports my family and I have loved and taken for several years. So enough about that. We'll circle back to that at a later point. But full transparency. No secrets with that. Okay, let's talk about diet culture. Here's the thing, and we're going to bring Jesus into this as well. Every good thing meant for our benefit and every good gift, the devil likes to take and twist and try to repackage in a different way, okay? He's done it with prophecy. He's done it with sex. He's done it with body identity. He's done it with meditation. He's done it with yoga. He's done it with all the things that are meant to be helpful to our body and gifts while we walk through this life on this planet. The devil wants to take it and manipulate it and repackage it and make it shiny, even though it's really gross underneath, and try to sell it to you in a different way. I believe he's done that with the medical industry, and I believe he's done that with the diet industry. Originally intended for good. There are still good people in those industries doing a good work. But as human nature is, especially influenced by evil, it is often manipulated to keep people in bondage, to keep people overwhelmed, to keep people in their anxious thoughts. And if you feel like this is heavy and it's like a hamster wheel that you can't escape, I believe it is, I think you're missing out on the freedom that Christ provides, to tell you the truth, okay? So it is an industry meant to keep you chasing the next thing. The devil wants nothing else than for you to be stuck in your head, anxious about food, overwhelmed, trying to change your body, trying to manipulate things. Because when you are so focused on all the things and following the rules and doing all of that, you are not serving the world around you. You are not looking at the people around you. You are not living out and growing in your gifts. So I am very much convicted that any body movement, any change of eating, any plan to get healthier or change labs or change weight or anything needs to come from a heart that is so convicted that this is stewardship and this is gratitude. All right? Doing these things out of stewardship and gratitude is a total different energy. It also is different person for person. What person A needs to follow is going to be different from person B. What person C is called to walk through is going to be different from person D, because each of us have different strengths. Each of us have different weaknesses. Each of us have gifts that are meant to be developed. Maybe your struggle with that health concern is meant to bless somebody else, because they are going to see you walk through it in faithfulness and in stewardship, and that's going to be a inspiration, and that's going to be a place of hope for somebody. Okay? So I've heard the quote that let me see if I can get it straight. Again, I didn't have time to take all the notes. Our gifts make us useful. Our strengths make us useful. Our weaknesses make us usable. Because that is where we are relatable. That is where we are real. That's where we show that vulnerability that inspires other people, that we don't have it all together, but yet we can be an encouragement to each other. You are the least capable person to know what you're capable of. You are the least capable person to know what you're capable of. The people around you see you in a better light than you see yourself. They see your gifts, they see your talents, they see your strengths. And it's sad that we don't speak those things over each other as often as we should. Therein lies your power. You can be that encourager, you can be that gift. Humility is not thinking poorly of yourself. That is a lie. It is not thinking poorly of yourself. Woe is me, I am undone, I can't do anything right. That is not humility. Humility is actually not having eyes on yourself that obsessively. Thinking less about yourself, not thinking poorly, but your mind is not on yourself for as many minutes or hours out of the day. And then you are able to live the life and live out the gifts and steward your body and all the things. So, you are not broken. Well, you kind of are, but Jesus fixed that. You have broken ways of thinking that have been influenced by this world, by your parents, by diet culture, by Instagram influencers, from coworkers. You have broken ways of thinking that you have internalized as this is just who I am. You have broken habits because we act according to our identity. If you believe yourself to be a healthy person, you will do healthy things. Whoa, crazy lighting. If you believe yourself to be a sickly person, you continue to do the things that add to that. Now, here's the thing. So many of these thoughts are unconscious. You aren't fully thinking them through. They're just there. They're on repeat. It takes a whole lot more brain power to change those into helpful things. And that is why I believe we are called to take captive every thought. That is a hard work. You are going to have to think about your thoughts in order to change them. But here is the power. Your thoughts create feelings, and you take actions based on those feelings. So right now you're in a really sticky pattern of I'm overwhelmed by food, food stuff feels heavy, I can't figure it out, my body will never cooperate. And then those give you the feelings of overwhelm, anxiety, stress, why even bother, why even try? And then you do nothing, or you binge eat, you binge TV, you are super sedentary, you don't go outside, you don't breathe fresh air, you don't breathe deeply from your belly. You're doing all these actions because of the thoughts and the beliefs, okay? So, taking captive every thought, we are the only species that can think about what we think about, okay? Your dog or your cat, they don't think about what they think about. They just have thoughts and they exist. We have a mind that's over the brain, so we can think about what we think about and we can change that. I believe that mind over the brain is actually where the Holy Spirit interacts with us and compels us to change those patterns if we are open to that and if we are seeking that. Okay? So mind, brain, body, what we do, how we live that out. Okay? So when scripture talks about taking captive every thought, what are you thinking about? Is it helpful? The fruit of the Spirit, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness. Those are actions that, if we go back up the chain, must come from thoughts and must come from an identity that is sealed in Christ and sealed in who he says we are. Okay? All right. Let me know if that's making sense. Drop any questions in the comments. So, we have to identify those beliefs. What I want you to do between today and tomorrow is I want you to try to tune into some of those thoughts, okay? So if you catch yourself saying at dinner time, why don't I like vegetables? Why am I so tired? Why did I binge on ice cream again? So often we're thinking those things and we don't even realize we're thinking about them. So what I want you to do between today and tomorrow is I want you to try to tune into those thoughts. and just be aware of them. And you might be like slightly disgusted by yourself, or you might not, just because they're so comfy and they're so cozy that you haven't pushed out of them yet. And listen, if you've been doing this work for a while and you've pushed out of them, there's always more. All right, there's always another level, there's always a deeper level. We are not going to be like done working on our minds until this life is over. Okay. So, you hit it right on the nail on the head, Cindy. The devil wants us to have tunnel vision focused on yourself. Absolutely. Okay. So tune into the thoughts that you are thinking, tune into the thoughts that are impacting how you're feeling, or if you're feeling like anxious around food at dinner tonight, or guilty for dessert you had after lunch today, sit for a moment and be like, what thoughts am I having about this? And what feelings is that giving me? Okay. So tune into that and listen to that. And like I said, a lot of it's going to be like subconscious. It's not going to be, obvious at first. Maybe even sit with the Lord and a journal for a little bit and say, what have I been thinking about myself? What have I been saying over myself? The tongue holds life and death. Okay. And this is another area where the world has manipulated things and the devil has manipulated things. Okay. So he has taken speaking life over ourselves, affirmations, manifestations. He has taken things that are biblical concepts meant for our growth, and he has twisted it in the whole like new age worldview that we can speak things into existence. We can transform, we can manifest wealth and riches. You know, that's this like new age worldly version of something that Christ actually called us to do with his influence. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, because there's absolute power in what we say out loud and what we think to ourselves. So that is your homework. Write down those thoughts. I want you to come tomorrow with some of them to share. Don't feel like guilty or overwhelmed by sharing them, because it's going to set somebody else free. I promise you that. And then tomorrow we'll talk about how to transform those thoughts and what those steps are going to be like. And then on Wednesday, we'll talk about some of the practical, because I'm not going to leave you without the practical of like, how do I eat? How do I address these root issues? How do I steward my body? How do I move? How do I eat? Again, it's not going to be a one size fits all, but I am going to give you principles that you can then apply to your life, to your meal planning, and all the things. Because we all have to do all the things. We have to eat. We have to feed our kids. We're going to eat. We're going to move our body at some point. We might as well do it in alignment with Christ's view of us. The same way that you would want your daughter to talk about her body and steward her body. Okay? All right. Excellent. I think that's as far as I'm going to take you today, because I do want you to tune into these thoughts, because I think the restriction, because you're not feeling free about food, is because your mindset is still held captive by some of these thoughts and some of these beliefs. And we have got to figure out those chains. We have to bring those dust bunnies out from under the bed, because they seem way bigger when they're like down there under the bed when you've been like pushing them away. Those dust bunnies under the bed seem way scarier than when you actually bring them out into the light. The truth and the light will set you free, and we will tackle that. Also from my vehicle at the gym tomorrow around 11 a.m. Okay? I think Wednesday I'll actually be at the office. But hey, this is how we do it. This is how we do it. I am asked by the Lord to share these things and to talk about these things. And I'm just so appreciative that all of you are here listening in. If this was impactful, if you're relating to this, if this is like, yes, I need this, I know people that needs this is a free event. Again, you can invite your friends. If you're in it, you can invite people. Again, I'm not going to like steal people from other Plexus teams. No. This is with absolute integrity. But invite people that need to hear this, because they'll watch this replay. They'll watch Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And I just continue to pray that minds will be transformed and freedom will be received. And then you can walk forward with that freedom, because the way you walk when you're free is completely different from the way you walk when you are seeking that. All right. Thanks everyone for watching live. I'll be back tomorrow.